chance here for Huddersfield, which is swept in by Josh Karoma.
Flips this one in, goes to the far post. Naviama with the goal.
Good evening, one and all. Welcome back to the channel. So we are here to review the latest Shambles episode, which obviously over the weekend, a very bad loss, a very bad performance, and I'm sorry, I think it was utterly embarrassing how we turned up. I think it was toothless, it was spineless, and there is no passion shown by those group of players. And yeah, we're going to get into it anyway, guys, and we're going to kind of go through it, but not that I want to relive the game again, but we are here to discuss the game. So yeah, big up to everyone that is here tonight, by the way. Make sure you do drop a like, subscribe, and get your thoughts in as well. Get your thoughts in as we go along. I'd love to hear from you what you think about everything as well. But yeah, we're going to say hello first to people. Blue Terry just is going down again. Ole, ole. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? I think it looks pretty much inevitable. It's not mathematically done, but I'm afraid if you look at the bigger picture, if we was fighting down there and we was giving it a go and the players were giving it their all and we had a game plan, I think there would still be a glimmer of hope. But because the players, are just not, they're just not playing with passion. They're not fighting. They just look like they're going through the motions. There doesn't seem to be a game plan as well. The manager is not doing his job. For me, I'm sorry, but I don't see what we're trying to do. So yeah, I don't think we've got any hope now. Aiden's in, hi mate. I would say I hope you're okay, but let's just say I probably know how you feel right now, and every town fan feels it. Yeah, hello Aiden, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I mean, you take the words out of my mouth, really. We're not really okay at the moment, and none of us are okay. I think the fans have had enough. We've had enough. We've been put through so much rubbish this season, and many years prior, of course. The same things happening over and over again. And having to put up with this, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? And yeah, it's tough. It's really tough to take. But yeah, we're not feeling great. Rant show this evening. It's probably going to feel quite ranty tonight, which obviously sometimes it is good to get things off your chest. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a ranty show, but things need to be said, and that's it. And Blue Terrier says that the players are selfish. They are. Well, certain players are selfish, that's for sure, and we're going to get into it, don't you worry about that. But yeah, thank you for your contribution so far. But yeah, I mean, for me, this was a game that we needed to win, right? And the way we approached this game, again, we didn't approach the game correctly. That's as simple as that. Because if you're down there trying to get out of it, just go at the opposition. We're up against a team that is mid-table, has nothing to play for, and we play like this. I mean, literally horrible from start to finish. No shots on target. The keeper has not had a save to make all game. That says all you need to know about this performance. So utterly garbage. No game plan, I mentioned. There's no game plan. There is nothing. And I don't care how long the manager's been here. There is no game plan. I don't know what is. I don't know what else. There's no identity. There's no. Yes, okay, the playing style will come within time, but you still expect to see. To see more. And I'm sorry, the manager. And we're going to get into the manager a bit later on, but I don't have any faith in him. I'm afraid. I really don't. And like I say, no end product as well. I think if you look at the Millwall game, I just think we were pathetic. It was a simple performance. Okay, we won the game against Millwall, but it was just another pathetic performance. The lineup. I mean, let me know what you think about the lineup, because for me, I think we all know what we think about the lineup, because again, it's that reserved approach. It is the same thing again. We're looking at the lineup here now, look, and obviously Nichols in goal. Pearson is not a right back. How many, as fans, we can see it. Why can't the manager see it? Pearson is not a right back. I'm sorry, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out, does it really? He hasn't got the pace to be a right back, and that was proved costly in the game as well. And we're going to get into that. But Pearson at right back, don't understand it. It just makes no sense. Lees and Hellick, obviously good to see them in the middle. Spencer at left back there. Then Thomas, Matos, Kasumu, and Koroma with Ridone. And again, Bergzorg is not a striker. He's not. And he continues to play in there. And I go back to it. It's like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. It's not going to change. We are not good at football, so why are we trying to play football from the back? Play to your strengths. Don't try and play this football that we cannot do. I don't understand him. I don't understand the manager. So the lineup for me, you've got 3 strikers sat on the bench. Why are we playing wingers up front, right backs at centre? Why are we playing centre halves at right back? What is happening? Just play players in their positions. Simple. Bergzorg, we're going to get into Bergzorg, but the lineup for me wasn't good at all. Who tells you that the players weren't doing what Andre supposedly asked them to do? Well, this is the problem. That this shouldn't be happening. If his messages were clear, his messages were direct, he has a clear understanding of what he wants, then the players will be doing what they are, surely. Because if you look at what happened, and I don't want to keep going back to the ground, right, but if you look what happened under Jonathan Worthington, those players showed passion, pride. We knew exactly what they were doing. We knew what the game plan was. That is front foot football. That is what we want to see. And this is what I thought we were going to see with this guy to a degree. And it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened at all. And, that to me is a concern if players are not doing what the managers asked them to do. It's down to the clear messages. Keep the game simple. If you don't keep it simple, what is it's just going to go wrong. Pearson was at fault for 2 or 3 goals on Saturday, and Bergzorg is not a striker, and he's all about himself. Yeah, Blue Terry is spot on. You're absolutely spot on. Pearson, again, we're asking Pearson to do a job he can't do. He is a centre half, right? He's a centre back. That's his position. He's not a right back. I know I keep repeating myself, but it's the truth. Why isn't this manager seeing this? And why is he playing players out of position? So he's all about himself as well. Come down to Johnson saying the supporters. I'm sorry, but if you're playing like that, you're not going to get the support. You have to show you deserve that support. Yeah, this is another thing as well. I'm going to come on to this now. The ironic thing is that the club, we were pretty much asked by the club all week. Pretty much every player, I feel like every player spoke, or every member to turn to the ground. We turned up, and what did the players do? Absolutely nothing. Nothing. And as supporters, we are being failed again. It's as simple as that. We haven't got any quality. If the players put effort in and they tried, which they don't seemingly be doing under this manager for some reason, then I have no issues. But we haven't got the quality. We haven't got the quality. We know this, but that's why you have to use your players, utilize your players correctly. Now, I'm not saying I should be the manager. I should be doing, but we can only comment as fans what we see, right? And that's it. We can't sugarcoat anything. But you're right, Aidan. Why are we being treated like this? The club, the admins of the club, they seem to be I know obviously they told to say, you know, for me, and we're going to go into that as well about, you know, a bit later on as well. I've got so much to say, guys, honestly, I've got so much to say. But yeah, if we turned up, we backed the team. We were literally feeding off scraps in that game. We still backed the team. But unfortunately, when it gets to a certain point where, you know, if the players start, you know, if the players don't perform, the substitutions, you know, I'm just tired of saying the same thing over and over again. The fans will support. We turn up every week. And what do we get? Nothing. We get nothing. And recently, it's been utterly embarrassing. From top to, it's just embarrassing, you know. So, yeah, I agree with you. It's not good at all, you know. He just makes a mockery out of us, really, asking us to turn up and then we perform like that. You know, it just makes you think, stuff yourself, really, to be honest with you, doesn't it? Because that's how it is. You know, fans have had enough. Fans have had enough of the same rubbish every season, the same decisions, the decisions that are completely wrong every season. And this is what is happening. Blue says, I don't think the players are playing for Andrea. They play for Werber, as he's best friends with the squad, and they were at risk of being kicked out when the manager came in. Yeah, they're not playing for him, are they? They're not running through that brick wall for him, are they? And that is a concern, because that's what we saw under Werber. That's why we got the results under Werber. Obviously we did lose under him as well, but it was going at opposition. We were losing, but we lost games, but we actually went for the opposition. Southampton, a clear example. You know, playing 3 forwards at Southampton, scoring 3 goals. That's front foot football, and I'm sorry, this manager is seriously underwhelmed. I don't care how long he's been here. I'm not bothered. I expected better than this, and it's just not been good enough. Joshua's an evening, Ryan. Evening to you, Joshua. Hope you're well. Now let's have a look. The first half, look, I said it in my preview show, Ryan. Let's go at them from minute 1. Let's cause them issues. Let's cause them problems. You know, put them on the back foot and let's go at them. But as soon as I saw that lineup, I thought, well, it's just the same. Keeping the same team as the Bristol game was utterly ridiculous. You know, we've been crying out for a striker. I'm sick of the excuses. They can't play this, they can't play that. Get them on the field. Just get them on the field, because I'm sorry, you know, all these excuses about you can't play, you know, you can't play half an hour and you can't do this. Just get them on the field, man. It's getting ridiculous. You know, it's just got ridiculous. It's just excuse after excuse. You know, like I said, the defending in this game was atrocious again, wasn't it, really? You know, backing off. You know, and at 1-0 down, I can ask you, people in the chat now, at 1-0 down, you knew it was over. You knew the game was over. At 1-0 down, it was it. And, you know, we have to stop playing, you know, stop playing like that. You know, 1-0 down, just giving up. It's pathetic, really. And I just think, you know, we're going to have a look at the goals in a moment, actually. Let's just have a look here. Let's just say with chances few and far between as well. I think the first big chance for us, we finally create something, was when Bergzorg. Bergzorg. I mean, I'm laughing, guys, but honestly, this guy is an utter liability. That's what he is. And, you know, like I said, Bergzorg, the biggest chance of the game. Swansea player passed it back to the goalkeeper, who had to commit, came rushing out of his goal. But Bergzorg obviously beat him to it. So he got to it first, around the goalkeeper he went. He came, dragged it back. Redoni was all in the middle. Let's have a look at this now. Redoni was all in the middle, guys. And yes, there was, you know, the goalkeeper was out of his goal. Okay, there was people on the line, but Redoni was free. And what did he do? Guess what he did? he wasted a chance. He shot all about himself. All about himself. Selfish, selfish, selfish. Get the ball. Look at Radona. And the reaction afterwards, by the way, just proved how frustrating. He must be so frustrating to play with. It must be so frustrating because this is a team game, not an individual game. And the fact that he didn't pass that ball, and it's not the first time he's not passed the ball, right? And he didn't pass that ball, and the reaction he got after that summed it up. Boos, boos, boos. And I'm sorry, for me, he has just ended up wasting another big chance because it's all about him. That's what it is. It's all about him, guys. And I just think that was a glorious opportunity and a big moment in the match. And he's come to do his usual things again. And for me, I don't want to see him in a town shirt again. I don't want to see him for the final 2 games. We know that's not going to happen under this coach because he seems to like him for some reason and they'll keep playing him up front. We know what's going to happen. He's going to keep playing him up front. He won't be able to read the message. He is not a striker. And plus, I don't think he's going to. He's a disgrace. His attitude is appalling. His attitude is appalling. So he can get back to names in Germany and stay there because he's a joke. His attitude. I was looking at his demeanour throughout this game as well. He's constantly shouting at others to run and get the ball, run and press. But yeah, what's he doing? He walks around and he does absolutely nothing. So I think he needs to look at his own performance before he looks at others. And yeah, I think he's one of those players, when you're in a relegation battle, you can't have somebody with such bad attitude like he does. I don't want to feel like I'm coming down on him, but it's true. It's true. As far as a footballer, we need in the relegation. He could be as possibly as far as he could get. When he needs somebody, he's not the person to go to. I think Andre has given up on Lausanne and relegation's confirmed. We will get into those. Obviously, we'll review what he said after the game. So I think there was a few things that he said that was quite interesting in the post-match. We are going to get on to that, but yeah, I'll share my thoughts on that too. Hope you're well too. Joshua says, yeah, well, not too good. It's football, what does football do to you? It makes you so miserable. Until Swansea score, I didn't think we were under any pressure, but as soon as one went in, loads did. Yeah, the capitulation. We failed to test the goalkeeper, yeah, and then they score, and then the floodgates open. And then the floodgates open, it's done. And this is what's happened on multiple occasions this season, and it seems to be a reoccurring theme. I'm not very well from yesterday afternoon, from what I saw. Yeah, it was a bit of a... yeah, I know what you mean. Why, when he was taken off, why did he walk off? Because he doesn't care. His attitude... He doesn't want to be here. That's pretty clear. He doesn't want to be here. It's all about him. He's selfish. You can tell the players don't like him. I couldn't play with a guy like that. I couldn't, because I just think, you know what? Too big of an ego. Too big of an ego. It was the worst decision bringing him to the football club. And yeah, I don't like players like that. I never will. He walks off to booze, and yeah, that says it all. Because like I say, this is a team game, not all about Delano Bergzorg here. And he failed to do something. He failed to pass it across, square it to Radone, and to give him a chance to score. But he well and truly let himself down again. And yeah, I just think his attitude is poor. And I think afterwards as well, he actually put, to be clever in all this, I think on his Instagram story, he puts his name and number on the back, obviously, and with the score saying 0-0. That just sums up him, really. It sums up what he's about. He's a bad egg in the dressing room, and I'm afraid I don't want to see him for the final 2 games. Now, I know that isn't going to happen. Yeah, I don't want to see him up front for a start, but I don't want to see him. And yeah, that's it, really. The sooner he goes back, the better. In fact, he can go back now if he wants, as far as I'm concerned. against Birmingham, if I was Andre, I would analyse which players have been given everything and pick a team best, even if it ends up in us playing the kids. Yeah, I mean, good point, to be fair. I can't argue with this, but I really can't. I think, I think the reality is, I think I'd rather see the kids play and give it 110% than see these players play and see them not giving everything. They just don't. They can't pass. They can't seem to pass the ball. It's woeful, isn't it? It's woeful, and you're right. But everything has suggested that won't happen because Andre is doing the same thing over and over again with his team selections and tactics. So yeah, but I agree. I absolutely agree with you. Now the second big chance, of course, it fell to Josh Koroma. Now Josh was in fantastic form going into this game. Obviously got a couple of goals in the last few games. He was looking very good. Obviously it came from Sorba Thomas down the right side, who obviously got the ball in. Koroma, I don't know how he made. Obviously it fell to Koroma, and he somehow balloons it over the bar. That was another big opportunity, a wasted opportunity. He has to score there. He has to score, and that was it just summed it up, didn't it, really? That chance, where Koroma had that chance, and I just can't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. Now, obviously, the substitutions were made in the 60th minute. Now, again, for me, that first half was nowhere near good enough. Bergzorg wasn't holding the ball up. He isn't a striker. So, again, 6 players in the positions. It's not rocket science, is it? 6 players in their natural positions. I don't like Bergzorg, but he's not a striker, so don't play him there. But yeah, leaving, he made some substitutions in the 60th minute. Bergzorg obviously came off to cheers. Well, there were boos as well, and he was walking off, like Aidan said earlier. And yeah, I'm just done with these kind of egos and players like that. Pathetic, absolutely pathetic. Danny Ward obviously came on. Matos came off for Reece Healy. Now, I don't know, because once these players came on, our midfield, there was no midfield, was there? There was absolutely nothing in midfield. And I just think the balance was completely wrong for me. I just didn't understand. For me, when Brodie Spencer came off as well, by the way, for Headley, when Pearson should really have been the guy that was coming off. I don't understand. I don't understand why he's taking off Spencer, who obviously obviously made a few interceptions, didn't he? I seem to remember, and he wasn't playing badly. Pearson was struggling because he can't play that role, so he should have come off. So yeah, substitutions, not sure about those. Really, I didn't really understand those. Sorba Thomas made a brilliant run in the first half, but who made the mistake again? Have one guess. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, that first half just felt like it was going on forever. I didn't remember anything that first half, but yeah, of course it had to be Bergzorg who made the error. But yeah, I mean, the goal for Swansea now, this defending is utterly atrocious. Now, Pearson, who was seen ambling back here, now, as a professional footballer, surely you're told to go to the man, not run back into position. You need to go towards the man. But Pearson is running back and not going to the player and allowing Lowe to just keep going. That is unforgivable. I'm sorry, but like I said, the goal itself allows him to cut in on his right. No, too easy. Allows him to cut onto his right when he's into penalty area, and he curls it into the corner. 73rd minute, 1-0 to Swansea. So yeah, that Pearson for me, I don't understand why he was running back and actually not going towards the man. That's what you're taught from a young age. to go to the ball, not to run into empty space. Anyway, I have no idea. I think, like I said, the defending was atrocious. Like I said, backing off. Where's the drive to get a tackle in and really, instead of just letting opposition do what they want, and like I said, 1-0 down, to just stop playing like that, it was pathetic. They just gave up. 1-0 down, that's it, it's done. And obviously the second goal came, obviously the keeper. This goal, by the way, the second goal, this goal came from the keeper just hitting it upfield, 60 yards. And look, there's a Swansea player there with 30 or 40 yards of open space to run into. Why? The very least you can do when you give the ball, when you get back in, you sit in and win the ball back. But the player, I don't understand why the line was so high. I felt like we was playing too high because all the defence was out of position, if you look. And there was so much open space, like I said. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I really couldn't. Timon, obviously, then just squares it across when in the penalty area. He gets into the penalty area, no problem. Squares it across, a tap in for Ronald to tap in. Like I say, Hellick, Pearson, Lees, all out of position, running to get back. Utterly dreadful. I don't understand why our defenders were on the halfway line. I don't understand what was happening. Why were we so high? Why was there so much space in behind to, just atrocious. It really is. And this is the clear reason why Pearson should not start. It is, but I think that the whole defence was poor. I really do. And I do think Pearson tries. He does try. But like I said, he can't play that position, can he? He's just not quick enough. He hasn't got the pace to be able to play that position. But yet he's been utilised in a position that isn't best suited to his game. So yeah, Pearson. If there's no space in the centre back position, obviously there might be now with Lees going off injured in that game. Don't know how serious that is, but if obviously Lees is injured, then Pearson will go into that centre back role where he is best suited. But yeah, second goal, absolutely ridiculous, and 85th minute, game over really. Boos ringing out as well, constant theme of booing, and I think we got to a stage where we'd just seen enough. Really, we'd seen enough in this match. We tried to get behind the lads. We tried to get behind the team in the first half, and we tried to do it. And unfortunately, I think the patience was just tested well and truly. And look at the performance. Look at the performance. And we are the most patient fan base. And but then there's a line, isn't there? There's a line. You get to the time of the awful defending. The fact that we haven't laid a glove on their keeper. We haven't tested the keeper. Is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. The defending, schoolboy defending. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. That second goal for Swansea basically deserved, described our season. It did. You're right, Aidan. You're absolutely right. Now, the third goal, again, all the goals were so easy, weren't they? Obviously, Key has the ball, plays it to Ronald, who is able to get in with ease. Hellick, by the way, I praised Hellick so much this season. And I think that Hellick wasn't that great in this game. I'm not going to lie. I think he was very poor, actually. And the third goal, he seemed to deflect off him. He didn't actually deal with it. And obviously, it deflected off him and fell to Yates, who had a tap and he wasn't going to miss. But we're all over the place. Hellick didn't have a good game. And I'm never ever scared to say that, because I think I always say what I see, and ultimately I don't think he played that well. Now the boos rang out after this goal gone in as well, and I think the stadium just emptied after that goal, really truly emptied. And the fourth goal again, horrible defending. Headley goes up for the header, he literally misjudges it. Goes over him to Ronald, then passes it to Walsh, who shoots it into the top right corner. But again, that was a good goal to be. But again, how much space are you giving? How much space are you actually giving? Okay, the game was over then, so but it's not the point, is it? It was a theme, and like I say, obviously people were saying you're not fit to wear the shirt. That chant was ringing around as well. This fan base has had enough, I'm afraid. It has become very toxic, and I think you can't. We've tried. We keep going though. We keep going. We keep trying to get behind the team, and ultimately, when you're not getting anything back, when you've got a manager who, for me, and I'll keep saying it, and I'll keep saying it, he's not the man, I'm afraid. And people come at me and say, "Oh, he's only coming and all this." I want to see what is his game plan. What is he trying to do? Because I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't care how long he's been in. He's been brought in to do a job. He's been brought in to get the best out of these players, utilise the players correctly, and play a style of football that is going to suit the players. And I'm afraid we haven't had it. Winning one game in how many games? 9, 10 games is atrocious. And there's no sugarcoating that. So, yeah. And the goals just constantly going in. Now, the thing is, I'm going to say something about Sorba Thomas here, yeah, because I think I like Sorba Thomas as a player. I think he's a great player, right? And he has really helped us this season. But I don't like the Sorba Thomas as a person. I'm gonna be honest with you, because as soon as obviously the fans were chanting "You're not fit to wear the shirt" around the ground, and he kind of gestured to the fans, kind of saying this and all, with his hand there, and I just think his attitude is very poor, really, for me. And I think he's a great player, but I just think his attitude, it's not great, is it? He thinks he's better than he is, ultimately. And like I say, it's just really poor, really, across the board. Now, we are going to get into the comments that Brian Ryan said after the game, but I just want to kind of finalise. Yeah, like I said, this game was an utter disaster again, I'm afraid. Like I say, a game that we need to win. And how did we... If you look at that game, we didn't even try to win. Yes, we had 2 big chances and we blew them. But I'm on about the approach from the start of the game as well. We weren't at them in their faces. We weren't trying to make things happen. We weren't playing attacking. We weren't on the front foot. We were going through the motions, and we were playing counter-attacking football against a team that is mid-table and have nothing to play for. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. So yeah. I think for me, like I said, Brighton Writer's comments, there were some interesting things that he said after the game. Now, the first one being, he said that we were trying to play a pressing style of football. He must have been watching a different game to me, because I'm sorry, we were not playing pressing. We were not. We didn't. There was no pressing style of football collectively whatsoever. So I have no idea what he was watching. When asked about the ideal plan to try and win the game, he said he wanted to press high, mix high pressing and stay compact like at Bristol, which I thought was also interesting, that he said at Bristol we won the game. He said we won the game at Bristol. Despite the decision, we didn't win that game, we drew. So to come out and say something like that is honestly mind-blowing. He did say he was disappointed, can admit the performance was not good enough today. Yeah, fine. First half very disappointing. We knew about the ball position game of Swansea, but we couldn't find the right plan to play our plan, and it was not possible to make pressure. All these things, he as the manager has to have that plan, has to have that clear idea. He's responsible for that. So when he's saying we couldn't find the right plan, that again, to me, it is alarming for me. I don't understand. We tried to make it better in the second half, he said, which for me, yes, look at the substitutions on the hour mark. You know, we did look a bit better when we put some strikers on. Well, hey, if strikers come on and we actually start to. But, you know, the reality is I think they should have been made earlier. And then he comes out and says that the players weren't willing to put it, putting it. The players weren't putting it in. They weren't putting any effort in. They were, and to hear him say that, a club that is supposedly fighting to stay up, and the manager admits the players weren't putting it in. Honestly, I couldn't believe what was being said. And for me, he was asked about his future as well. He was asked about his future. Would he stay if we go down to League One? He avoided the question and said he was concentrating on the last 2 games, and all the conversations about that, the players, the coaching staff, will be made after the season. But to me, I think that is a sign that this is a guy that will resign, or is there something in his contract that just allows him to go if we got relegated? And I think for me, like I say, he stands on the touchline. He doesn't come across as a guy that wants to be there. He looks like he doesn't want to be there, if you get me. And I just think it's been shocking how lacking the ability and professional of this set of players as well. I think the professionalism has been woeful. And also interestingly as well, players also refuse to speak to anyone from the anyone after the game, obviously the radio commentary, obviously. So sometimes a player comes out and speaks, but no player was prepared to come out. Means I think they weren't prepared to come out because they were worried about what they would say, and that was from Oggy, one of the commentators that does the town commentaries. So yeah, that speaks volumes, doesn't it? It means that they're not happy, not talking about their own performance, but in general. That's a collective, because I think, if the players had a bad game, usually you'd see a player come out and front up to it. But I'm afraid none of them did, and I think for a player not to come out and front up after their defeat like that, it is very, very poor. For me, like I said, Swansea's goalkeeper did not need to make a save all afternoon, and that says all you need to know. So all this about high pressing, all this nonsense that we get fed, and he keeps saying, it's all a myth. It's all a myth, because I don't see anything what he's describing at the moment. I think he is very clueless to me. And I can talk about whatever he said, his CV, where he's been during all this. He hasn't been in the Championship. He hasn't managed in England, and I'm afraid you can have all the experience, but when you're not, when you haven't got the experience, I think it's only going to end one way, really. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm waffling now, but yeah, like I said, this is a fully fit squad now. By the way, it isn't being utilised correctly from the manager. The tactics, as I said, the team selections. I just think it's utterly horrendous. Now, how have we gone from 2 wins and a draw? When we had Warnock, we've gone from 2 wins and a draw under Warnock and sacked him, and we've only won 7 games since, under 3 over different managers. 3, including obviously the Worthington, who obviously was the caretaker. Now, we're going to get into the comments. Obviously, smash those likes if you guys are watching. Subscribe if you know result. What a rubbish result for Town. Don't even get me started on Bergzorg. Yeah, I mean, a very rubbish result. And yeah, I've had my rant on Bergzorg. I don't know if he was in when I said it. I think these players that are doing videos saying fans need to turn up, there's a lot is a lot of rubbish and script work they are doing. They are the ones that need to turn up. They do, and it's just an absolute mockery that these players come out. Okay, they're told to do it by the club, but ultimately, I don't really know. I think it's just absolutely pathetic how they've up to that. The lead up to that game, it was come down support, and then we get a performance like that, which pretty much sums it up. Maybe we should return the favour and get fans to do videos for the players, telling them to turn up on Saturday. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some. I know, but I've seen some fans already do that. I've seen two fans, which obviously have already done videos. So yeah, maybe we should all do a video collectively, not collectively, each other. Let's all put a video out there on social media asking the player to turn up on Saturday if it's at all possible. Because yeah, it's just completely unacceptable, isn't it? Really. Well, to make things more interesting, Nagel put a tweet on the other day saying more in town this week. Yeah, I mean, look, Nagel, I remember that tweet as well. He said, you see how he put the Sacramento thing first, and then he said something about town, obviously more on town this week. You should be addressing it right now, not later. Now, and for me, that is poor. That is poor to see. And to be honest with you, I'm sick of these video diaries anyway, if I'm honest with you, because they're all these video diaries, the things that he's saying and all this. Some fans are just taking it and just accepting what he's saying and oh, good old Kevin and all this, right? And honestly, they're being I don't know what the word is, but I just feel like they're just being completely and utterly. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. You know when you watch something and then you're kind of like, what is it? When you watch it, people are believing everything he's saying, and I'm sorry, the things he's saying and things. I'm not going to buy into everything for what he's saying. I need to see action as well, and unfortunately, we haven't seen that. Now, the state of the football department at the club is in complete disarray. We know this. Naive, and they should be ashamed. They should be ashamed of that. Cartwright, Edwards, those people are the first people that need to go in the summer. Well, and like I said, pretty much nailed on now that we will go down. I've kind of, and mathematically it's not done yet, but looking at the bigger picture, things aren't there for me to hope or believe that this is going to happen, because we see these performances, we see how we're playing as a team. The manager doesn't seemingly know what he's doing. For me, no game plan, no structure, no nothing. Do the same thing over and over again, expecting miracles. I'm afraid it's not going to happen. But ultimately, I know that many years before, we've had board of directors and directors of football that have been awful, right? It's past 4 or 5 years, right? It has been horrible. The way this club has been run is nothing short of a disgrace, and this is where we are now, and this is what's happening. I think that this season, you can't undermine the fact that things that have happened, the decisions that have been made. I don't care how long they've been in. The decisions that have been made this season, absolutely atrocious. And I don't expect everybody to do everything right. Never have done, never will do. But what I do expect is a level of accountability, a level of know-how, and unfortunately, these people have no idea what they're doing in the board, and they've let us down. They've let Kevin down. By the way, and I think ultimately though, he was the one that employed these people. So again, Kevin Nagel doesn't go under the radar. I think that ultimately he has employed these people, and look where it's left us this season. Now, in summary, like I say, it was a disgusting performance. I think the time, I think really we should really have we just have to get this guy out, the manager, everybody out. only person I want to keep, Kevin Nagel, you need to get people in. The rest can go. The rest can go, and I'm done. You know, if we look at where we play, you look at where's the pride gone? Where's the passion? Where, you know, and these players, for me, are just cowards. For me, they're absolute cowards, and I think, like I said, the whole game plan as well, playing on the counter attack against a team who are mid-table, nothing to play for. I don't understand it. I don't understand the whole setup of the team either. You know, just put the strikers on from the start and take a gamble and do something different. You know, the tactics I don't understand. The same team that was played down at Bristol. Why was that? Why was the same team played down at Bristol? It makes no sense. And yet ultimately, I don't rate this coach, and I think moving forward, I know that people can keep saying, you know, you can't afford to keep sacking managers and all this. Personally, I think he'll walk anyway. I think he'll walk come the end of the season. I don't think he'll stay. It's pretty clear. His body language, his demeanour. It doesn't look like a guy that wants to stick around. Especially if we get relegated, which seemingly is when, not if, right now. Don't forget, all this is down to Edwards and Cartwright. Yeah, I mean, it's just been a shambles from top to bottom, hasn't it? It's just ridiculous. I'm going to get into that in a minute anyway. A bit more details there. A lot of mistakes, but yeah, every decision has been huge and has been the wrong one ultimately. And I'm sorry, you know, Jake Edwards. I know people saying, well, you know, he's not, but Jake Edwards is the CEO of the organisation, so he is everything to do with Cartwright, and they work hand in hand together. And I'm afraid those two, I don't want. If we keep those in charge, that we'll be coming back this time next year. We'll be saying the same things. That's it. Mate, which game do you think? Yeah, when you're going down for me, the Rotherham game. Yeah, I mean, the Rotherham game for me was probably the one as well, to be honest with you. I think that, you know, we performed in that game, and the approach to that game was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. You know, I said it at the time. You know, Rotherham, the worst team in the division, and we go there and we don't go at them from the minute one, and we don't give it a go. And then what we're going to do is, after the game, we're going to blame a red card for why it stayed 0-0 and why that was acceptable to, you know, why that was acceptable to pick a point away from home against bottom of the table Rotherham, who have been the worst side in the Championship. So yeah, that's what he said, not me. But I'm just saying that for me probably was the turning point in the Rotherham game. That was where I was starting to think, no, this isn't right. Like I say, the first thing that needs to happen as soon as that season finishes, Cartwright, Edwards, thank you very much, go. You know, and I keep seeing all these things on social media. You know, Kevin saved the club, he can't be criticised and all this. Why? He's the owner. He's the owner of the football club. Now, you can talk about years and years of underinvestment and what happened before him, but this season, he's accountable for what has happened this season. He's partly accountable for what's happened this season. He's put people in place that he supposedly trusted, and they've let him down massively. And ultimately, Kevin Nagel doesn't. I don't not criticise him just because he saved the club. That's nonsense. That is nonsense. Yes, he saved the club, but guess what? In his first season, we're about to get relegated to League One. What a brilliant start that is to his time as owner. Utterly ridiculous. And I think that for me, the biggest decision, I know we keep going over you know, all the ground, but the biggest decision for me, the error, you know, that was made was Darren Moore. We all knew at the time it was uninspiring and underwhelming manager. We all knew it. We all knew it was an uninspiring and underwhelming manager when he came in. Now he goes down now in the possible relegation of 2 teams in 1 season. Just let that sink in. Let that sink in. Now the second biggest mistake was leaving him in charge until January. Everybody knew. We knew. Everybody could see we should have got rid of him in November. Needless to say, the owner, like I say, has to take responsibility for that. But ultimately, like I say, he's been let down by the people that are making the decisions for him. And coming out and saying he was the standout candidate, Darren Moore, the standout candidate. Jake Edwards, that's what he said. The standout candidate was Darren Moore. You must be having a joke. What planet? What planet are they on? And yeah, I think, like I say, we had. You can talk about the goals that we conceded, but what about the 72 minutes before this game, for the Swansea game? You're not going at the goalkeeper. You're not working the goalkeeper. You're not pressing them. Like I said, the game when you're on the front foot, that's how you win games. Not playing counter-attacking and expecting something to happen. It's not going to happen. The setup is completely and utterly wrong. Like I said, the game plan, I don't understand it. We knew when Andre left. Not when Andre left. When Andre came in. For me, yes, okay, I won't sit here and say that I wasn't kind of a bit intrigued to see what he was doing. But I wasn't going to praise him. Yes, I said that I was kind of impressed by his CV. I said that at the time. But ultimately, I wasn't going to make a judgment on him then. I wasn't going to get all carried away because I didn't really know him. I think it was a weird decision to bring in Andre. To be honest with you, I think that for me, you need somebody with experience in these final games. You don't, and to get the best out of the team. And I'm afraid, I just don't know anymore. I just don't know. And it seems that rumours have been going around on social media as well, by the way, that Andre has been flying home every week, and there's been no train is gathering momentum. Someone's not happy. So for me, there is issues behind the scenes for me. I'm not quite there with everything that's going on at the moment. I think the club is in a complete and utter mess right now. The club is in a complete and utter mess. Getting with, we can go back to it. The decisions that have been made have ultimately cost us. You can talk about 4 or 5 years down. The underinvestment, yes, I get it. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that that it's just this season alone as to why we're in the position we're in. I know that it goes back further than this, but I can't sugarcoat the fact that I can't sugarcoat. I've lost the track of thought now. I can't sugarcoat how bad the decisions have been this season. You just can't. They've been there for all to see. So, yeah. Ever since the Leeds game, you've fallen apart. Yeah, we have. But again, getting rid of Warnock. I don't keep going back to it, guys. But getting rid of Warnock, bringing in Darren Moore, the biggest error of misjudgment you'll ever see. And I'm afraid it's come back to haunt us. We wanted a season of stability. We wanted a season of stability, and that's what Nagel said at the start of the season. We wanted stability. Right, okay then. What have we done to have that stability? We've chopped and changed managers. We've got rid of a manager just because he said it how it was. We know how Neil Warnock is. We know how he says it how he is. Yeah? But yet we thought we should go and sack him just because he's come out and spoken out against the fact that he was told that he was going to be backed. And unfortunately, the players that he re-signed were obviously part of the signings that were being made. So yeah, Yeah, big up to everybody that is tuning in. Please make sure to smash the like, subscribe, and yeah, hope you enjoy it. I'm going on a rant tonight, by the way, but it's needed. It's needed. I know I'm smiling, but I'm really hurting inside. I think we're all hurting inside to at the moment. It's just this club is in complete disarray, isn't it? It's in complete disarray, and it's hard to accept in a way, if you get me. I think it's hard to accept all this, because if you look at what's happening here, we are in a position where we are about to get relegated to League One. League One is a horrendous league to get out of. It's a horrendous league to be in. I don't mean disrespectful to the League One, but the pitches that you go and play on and things is nothing compared to the Championship, and we should never have been in this position. And ultimately, the people that have been running the club this season and prior have let us down time after time after time. And yeah, you can't hide that. The rumours about Andre flying home are not true. Are they not? Well, I think rumours, and when you get such substance of rumours, I think that they can be true. I don't know if they are true. We don't know, do we really? But all these things coming out now, and it's starting to question everything, and I don't know. I don't know them, but I've seen a few rumours. Yeah, we did, Ethan. We did get mauled by the Swans. Yes, we did. Thanks for reminding us. We already know. Do you think there's still a chance, with hoping that Birmingham Wednesday lose their next 2 games, and if we was to get the win and draw against Ipswich? For me, look, I think the fact that Wednesday won yesterday, by the way, just threw everything all up in the air again. So Wednesday now will have to lose. Yeah, like I said, they'll have to lose the next 2 games. I don't see how we win. I can't have any confidence that we'll win next week or this weekend. I just can't. And then going to Ipswich, needing a point. Now, I have to keep thinking, is there going to be anything riding on that game against Ipswich? Because if there is, then I can't see us getting anything from Ipswich. I just can't. We have to be realistic. And I have to. But for me, the Birmingham game, I think, I don't think there is any chance. Of course, it's mathematically possible, right? And it is possible. But when I look at the bigger picture and I look at players, playing how they are, not playing, not fighting to stay up. We've got no identity, no playing style, no nothing. And we're performing consistently bad every week. I don't really know how we could. Obviously, Birmingham are down there with us, so Birmingham next weekend. But I have very little faith now. I really do. I feel like I'm resigned to relegation. But I think it'll really hurt when it does happen. I think it'll really hurt, to be honest with you. Even though we kind of know. It's going to take an absolute miracle to get out of this now. Because, like I say, we're having to expect Wednesday to lose the next 2, and Birmingham are going to have to lose the next 2 as well, I believe. So, yeah, because they're on. I don't know the tail, guys. I'm stumbling now, but yeah, but yeah, I'm kind of asked. I hope I've answered that question. I think that ultimately, I think time is not on our side now, and I think we've blown it. If we had won last week, if we would have won on Saturday, I probably would have been saying something different. But ultimately, we squandered the chance to get back in the mix again. And yeah. We're having to ask Sheffield Wednesday and Birmingham to lose the next 2. Okay, one of those Birmingham games are against us. So if we beat them, then they have to lose their last game. Sheffield Wednesday but we have to get a point against Ipswich. I don't know if I just can't see it. All depends if the promotion pick. Like I say, it depends what happens with them, really, doesn't it? But going to Ipswich expecting a result, when we've won 9 games all season. I don't think so. So, but a draw, could we scrape a draw? Possibly, but I just can't have any confidence at the moment. I just have no faith. How are we meant to have faith? Now, I've actually missed a thing here. Now, Andre kept... Oh, my goodness. Sorry, guys. Let me just get this going. Andre put this comment on his story the other day, and I thought it was interesting, because I think he obviously said he fully understands the disappointing frustration after yesterday's game. We always have to have the absolute will and passion on the pitch to put it in our best performance. We haven't shown will and passion for ages, so I'm not sure what he's talking about. We didn't manage to do that yesterday. We haven't managed to do it a lot of the time, really. Once again, we had enough chances to take the lead, which would have certainly made the game easier and give us more confidence, but we didn't capitalise on them. Again, we didn't create enough opportunities to score. It must never happen that we give up in the final minutes like we did yesterday. Nevertheless, it's not over. We have another chance next week to overtake our rivals in the most important game of the season. Even if many lost faith after yesterday, we have to believe we can do it. The last few games have shown that we can put in really good performances. I haven't seen any good performances really, so I'm not sure what he means. Okay, the Bristol game was decent, but yeah, I don't think it was great, the approach. It's not over until it's over, and we have to make the most of our last chance all together. So yeah, I mean, he put this out on his Instagram story yesterday, I believe. And yeah, I thought it was, like I said, this group isn't together. We aren't together. You know, the players not playing for the manager, it seems, and this fan base has had enough because of what's going on. We keep backing the team, trying to support the team, but we're just getting nothing in return. So I think that was interesting, what Andre said. And then this post, by the way, is not a joke. The club posted the day after the game. As always, thank you for your outstanding support, tennis. It felt like we were being trolled. It really did. Because why on earth are you putting this out a day after the game and thanking us for our support? You should be apologising for this performance, not thanking us, because it's an utter disgrace how this club is being run. So for me, that is absolutely ridiculous. Andre, stick your togetherness where the sun don't shine. If you start birds or you think it's a one-player game, the players need to perform for us to be together. Exactly. So he's coming out with loads of rubbish. He's going to resign at the end of this. I think there's something in his contract, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if there is. All this long-term plan and all this rubbish that we get, fed by the club. It's all nonsense. And like I said, I don't think they realise how big of a job this is in the summer. I don't. This is a massive job. And that is why, if we are to move forward, we have to have people in that boardroom that know what they're doing and can make good decisions, not bad decision after bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. Because this is happening far too frequent for my liking. So, yeah, this togetherness rubbish and all this. It's a load of rubbish, isn't it? It's rubbish. I thought this guy was dead serious. I don't know who you are, David Hartley, but yeah. But yeah, welcome in. But anyway. But yeah, guys, we've had a long rant tonight, haven't we? We've had a long rant. I think that's kind of it, really. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in tonight. It's not been it's been a pleasure, obviously, see everybody's comments and things, but it's not obviously the mood and this, the atmosphere that we want to have. But yeah, it's gonna take one hell of a turnaround in these next two to get us out of this. And like I said, the results, Birmingham even drew at the weekend, and we still couldn't capitalise on that. I'm just fuming because that result would have put it in our hand. If we would have won at the weekend, we would have been safe. No, if we would have won, I'm not thinking. If we would have won at the weekend, we would have gone into this weekend's game, having the opportunity to get safe, but we just blew it again. But yeah, like I say, thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. I appreciate everyone's support. And yeah, we'll be back later on in the week for, we'll have to do another match preview to the Birmingham game. Do it on Friday. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, get your comments in there. If you're watching this on playback, make sure you get your comments in. Let me know what you think about the whole situation of the football club and what you feel now after this result over the weekend. And yeah, I know people can't always watch it live, so I appreciate that. Great live stream, mate. It will be a miracle if we stay up. Yeah, thank you, mate. Appreciate that. And yeah, it will be a miracle if we stay up. It will indeed. But yeah, as always, guys, thanks for everybody's support. Have a good rest of the week, whatever you get up to. Stay safe, take care. And no matter how bad it is, up the town. See you later, guys, and I'll see you very soon. And as Aidan says, as always, once a terrier, always a terrier. Up the town. All right, then, guys, I'll see you all very, very soon. And like I say, big up to everyone for tuning in. I appreciate it. And yeah, have a good week. Take care. And I shall see you very, very soon for another match preview coming up on Friday night. Goodbye, everyone.